On the
So
grill.
let me know how was your first performance? How did that go?
My first performance is crazy actually because every time I tell this story, I just get goosebumps because like it's
Right.
something that you wouldn't expect to happen this way, but it happened, right?
Okay.
So I work in a call center. So I was chilling at the call center, minding my own business, taking calls. There was a girl,
Mhm.
her name's Felicia, and her computer wasn't working that day.
Okay.
So the supervisor was like, "Oh, we're gonna sit you down with somebody so you can kind of observe the calls. That way you don't look like you're not doing anything." So
Got
then
you.
she came over, sat down with me. We're like talking. There wasn't really any calls, so we were kind of just kicking it. And I
Mhm.
was telling her how I rap and all this stuff, and she was like, "Oh,
Right.
you're a rapper?" I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "That's so crazy. Like my wife is a promoter," and I was like, okay, she's like, she actually has a show coming up on September 13th. And I was like, that's my birthday. You feel me? It was on my birthday.
Wow.
And
That's
I was
crazy.
like, yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, let me send you my music. So I sent her my music and she sent
Right.
it to her wife and her wife checked it out. And like within 5 minutes, like she got back to me and she's like, she wants to book you for the show. And I was
Wow,
like,
that's
okay,
crazy.
awesome. So I ended up meeting them and going to that show. And like, I was nervous as could be, like literally shaking, sweating before I even got my hands on the mic. And it was at this like house, like it's a mansion, but it
Mhm.
has a giant pool in the back. And like they threw a huge event with like vendors and stuff. And basically, like they have a studio in there and stuff. So it's a really cool spot.
Right.
So, it was definitely a blessing to be there. But yeah, that's how I got my first show. And when I did it, I mean, people came up to me afterwards. I'm assuming obviously they knew I was nervous. I was looking at the floor most of the time. Like I was just not in a good headspace.
Hey,
But
as expected,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
everyone has been through that before. When I first did my first recording, I was up here shaking. They couldn't see it on camera. My hands were like this, and I was shaking, and I was real nervous. You could probably hear it in my voice. So I get it. I get it. And I'm just recording myself.
Right,
Like
right.
I can
So
only
that's why
imagine in front of people.
and that's what I'm saying, like, I froze up on my very first performance in middle school. So, like, I never
Oh,
saw myself getting in front of people again. So that even gave me that, like, am I gonna be okay? Like, am I gonna freeze up again? You feel me?
right.
But and it was crazy because afterwards I had a bunch of people come up to me and they're like, "Yo, your music is awesome. Like, don't stop doing what you're doing." Like, there was even a guy that came up to me and told me I inspired him to start taking his music serious. And I was
Wow,
like,
that's
"Bro,"
crazy. I know that
I was
made you
like,
feel real good because that would make me
that
feel amazing.
that was the moment I was like, okay, like if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. You feel me? Because like it's amazing having like inspiring other people. Like that's literally
Definitely.
what made me want to do it. Because I was like, I mean, if I could give the people the hope to do it, why not? You feel me? We could all win. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
it's like that's just how I saw it. So yeah, that was like a huge like door for me. Because then after that, everything else just kind of took off. And it's crazy because I started performing during quarantine season where everybody was locked up, and that's the year I had the most shows.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like for whatever reason, the stars aligned, and here I am.
It sounded like it was meant to be on your birthday. Her computer breaks
Yeah,
down. You meet up with her. That's crazy. Yeah, that's
yeah,
like a meant to be type of story of your first performance.
for real. That's
Definitely
crazy, man.
memorable.